What's going on, nation, and welcome to Ask Scott and Sean episode 9. We have 3 questions for you guys. If you want to see exactly what they are, go in the info section below and you can click on the timestamp next to it if you want to see that specific question. So you're going to move right through these. Remember to send your questions into us at questions@scotthermanfitness.com or go to the website scotthermanfitness.com, click on the Scott and Sean section, and there will be a spot where, I know, that's a tongue twister, Scott and Sean, sometimes. And there'll be a section where you guys can click and open up an email, and it'll send us a question directly with the information we need. So let's get started. Episode 9, question number 1. Jaye Solorzano.
Nope, let me see it. Jaye Solorzano, sorry.
Solorzano, thanks, Sean.
Solorzano, yeah.
Hey, Scott and Sean. My name is JJaye, and I'm a wrestler at my high school in Southern California. I was just wondering what you think I should eat to keep up my energy for practice and lifting while staying lean, getting stronger, and cutting weight at the same time. I'm 5'9" and about 175 pounds, and I want to get down to 160. Any feedback would help.
So how much weight is he trying to lose exactly?
He wants to lose, well, he doesn't say how much he wants to lose. Oh no, he wants to get down to 160. He wants to drop 15 pounds.
15 pounds.
Would have been nice if we knew your body fat percentage, so we're going to go with a more general answer.
Yeah.
Because if you were like 6% body fat and wanted to lose 15 pounds, I'd slap you.
Slap you hard.
I'd say, you know what? Why don't you wrestle the 175 pound weight class and just get it done and get good.
Yeah, that's a good point, and we didn't realize that before, the body fat percentage, because that will make a difference as to how much you can logically lose within any given amount of time. Well, 15 pounds within any given amount of time.
And you know what, JJ? I wrestled in high school. I was 152s my junior year, and I did really well. I probably would have killed people at 145, but you know what? I was 152, 5% body fat. I didn't want to lose the muscle. It wasn't worth it to me. I wasn't going for, a scholarship to a college or anything like that. It was something fun I did. So it depends on your level of involvement, how much, what I mean? A lot of factors key into it. There's ways that can be done. So we're going to try and help you as best we can.
Yeah, and it's always good to know that if you are losing more than 2.5 pounds in a week, or you're gaining more than 2.5 pounds in a week, if you're losing, you will start to burn muscle tissue if you lose more than 2.5 a week. We've mentioned this before. And if you're gaining weight and you gain more than 2.5 pounds, you're most likely getting some fat in there as well. So keep that in mind. With that being said, the thing, if you want to lose weight while getting more cut, while trying to prepare for a match, the key is going to be obviously keeping your fats low. Your body burns fat when it's resting, so keep your fats there only for when you're going to be not doing much, and keep little fat in there so that you're only burning that. Because if your body's trying to burn carbohydrates in the resting time when it should be just burning fat, then that's counterintuitive. So what you want to do is focus on your carbohydrates before you do any activities. We've said this on the community page many times before. Focus on only having carbs if you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to burn fat, only before your activities.
So nutritional timing.
Yeah, nutritional timing, exactly. So like an hour, 2 hours before you're going to do your activity, that's when you want to have your carbs. You should be having complex carbs before your lifts, before your wrestling practice and your meets. Other than that, you're only having your simple carbs immediately after, and that is to increase your insulin, to increase your overall protein synthesis from the protein you're taking in. And the reason why you're doing that is just to maintain the muscle that you have. You don't want to lose too much muscle, because that happens a lot in wrestling as well. These guys will cut
way too much.
20, 25 pounds, and they'll lose muscle, and then you sacrifice strength.
Let's talk about what wrestlers do. Though, I remember high school. Kids on my wrestling team would be in class spitting into a bottle all day long, wearing trash bags, running, totally depleting themselves of water, not eating, depleting yourself of muscle. If you do those things that have been around forever in wrestling, when it comes time for your match, JJ, you're going to be so tired and so weak. You're going to be more susceptible to getting an injury, breaking something, or losing the match just because you can't function, you can't think. Carbohydrates fuel your brain. If your brain's not fueled, you're going to forget what a cross-face cradle is, and you're going to get slapped in the face and taken down and pinned in like 2 seconds. Okay? So It's hard to gauge depending on like where you are now, your body fat percentage, all that stuff. Just keep in mind, the faster you lose it, you're going to be losing muscle. You're not going to be as an effective wrestler. You might think the 160 weight class is better for you because you can destroy all those kids in that weight class. They're going to destroy you if you're not up to par with your physical fitness. So be careful. What Sean said was great information, and we hope that we can get you down to the weight class you want to be in. But just remember, bro, you can do anything. You can kill 175 all day long.
Yeah, and I mean, like Scott said, there's ways that you can do it, and that's been done for a while. But nowadays, we can kind of break it down to a little bit more science, nutritional science, and with hydration and everything. If you do things a certain way, and we'll explain that a little bit more as time goes on the community page and on here.
Let's move on to the next question. Brian DeCosta. Hello, Scott. I am a college student, 5'10", 170, pretty much what I am, that is looking to cut fat and gain muscle simultaneously. I have heard a lot of talk about the importance of lifting legs, claiming that lifting legs will also help you get a bigger upper body. Is there any truth to this, and can you expand upon this claim? I like answering this question because Sean and I get asked this question a lot. We see it a lot on the community page. You know, yes, you will grow faster and bigger by doing your legs because you're going to release more natural growth hormone while you're doing your legs. Okay?
Heavy legs.
Heavy legs. Like, you know, doing a couple leg extensions isn't going to do the work. You know, you got to do your squats, your hack squats, you know, walking lunges, like everything. Destroy your legs. Burn them up. You don't want to walk the next day. Hack squats, everything. Okay? Your legs are your foundation to your body, and it's easy to remember that because they're the bottom and you walk on them all day long. And considering the fact that you walk on your legs all day long, those muscles are a lot denser, okay? It's going to take a lot more to break down that muscle tissue than it would for your upper body. So you need to hit them hard, destroy them.
Yeah, he's exactly right. Scott's right. You need to go heavy on legs. What going heavy on legs is going to do is you're going to release stress hormones that in turn are going to help your growth, your overall growth. Anytime you're releasing any type of hormones like that, what happens is your protein synthesis levels may go up in return. So that way you can use more muscle. You can use more of the muscle that you have instead of just going on a lift where you're doing like 10 to 15 to 20 reps. You want to do something that's just going to be extremely tough for like say 3 to 8 reps, and that you can barely get those reps out on, you're shaking. You know, you want to have a spotter on a lot of these heavy lifts, but that in turn it will help your upper body growth if you go heavy on legs. It will help you grow.
Now also keep in mind too, guys, you want to hit the different planes of motion for your body. So don't just do like the normal stuff for legs. Try and do movements where maybe you're moving backwards and do like a backward lunge, or moving out to the side and moving this way. Don't just do the traditional squat, leg extension, leg curl, and then be done with your workout. Really, you know, focus on the stuff we have online. Utilize the exercise explosion videos to get different exercises you can do for your legs to switch up the planes of motion, okay?
And you mentioned, I saw you mention recently on the community page about, you know, sometimes you can sacrifice a little bit form and going heavier. These types of lifts, you really don't want to, the really heavy lifts, you don't want to sacrifice too much form on. If you have like extreme amounts of weight on you,
especially with squats.
Yeah, with stuff like squats, you don't want to sacrifice too much form. There's some lifts you can get away with. Things like really heavy squats, you want to have good form on. You want to make sure, you know, you go nice and deep, but you have good form as well. So.
And then as far as cutting fat and gaining muscle at the same time, you know, it's talked about a lot. You need to make a choice. Can you do that? Yes. Will the rate of fat loss be extremely slow compared to if you focused on a fat loss goal first? Yes. Because what happens? How do you burn fat? You have to put yourself in a caloric deficit. How do you gain muscle? You need to be eating more than what you're burning.
Positive nitrogen balance.
So yeah. So if to gain muscle you got to eat more than what you're burning, and to lose fat you got to eat less than what you're burning. It doesn't really add up. It doesn't make sense. However, if you're gaining muscle and you're already kind of lean, or you're getting there, you're fine-tuned your meals, everything is, you know, spot on, and you're doing really intense workouts, your body is obviously going to burn fat while you're working out throughout the day, while you're gaining the muscle tissue, while you're working out hard. So you will lose bits of fat over time if you're on a muscle gain routine because your body's transforming. but it's not like you're going to lose that 10 pounds of fat in a month if you're overweight and want to lose weight.
So you're saying it will run more efficiently?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe I talk too much, but that's what I meant to say.
No, that's exactly you were explaining it like
if you're 40 pounds overweight, you need to do a fat loss routine. If you want to lose that extra 6 pounds of fat, to look a little more lean and get like all the nice cuts in between your abs, that's fine. You can do a little muscle gain routine and just focus more on burning, in the exercises.
Yeah. Next question.
Sam Yates. Scott and Sean. Obviously, you see the benefits of working out every day when you look in the mirror, but it is quite easy to forget how much this costs for an amateur like myself. I've been taking supplements such as protein powders and creatine, which I'm slowly coming off of, and I've spent in excess of about 100 pounds or $170, and have seen real improvements. But when I think to myself, it's a lot of money, and I'm 18 who's still... Sorry, my computer froze. And I'm 18 guy who's still studying, 18-year-old guy still studying. What alternatives are there? What do you look for when buying supplements like protein powder? Well, that's pretty simple. Do you want to?
So his question is...
His question basically is, I'm trying to get results. I've been getting results. I'm utilizing proteins. Do I really need them? I'm poor.
So this makes me go like this. makes me makes me punch myself in the head, because what Sam, what you didn't mention is food. How much money do you spend on food? That's the most important thing in your diet. Now I've gotten to
supplement your food.
I've gotten into arguments online with people about this. They go ballistic about supplements and stuff, and they're like, oh, you can get everything from food. Well, yes, you can get everything from food. Supplements are there as a supplement to that. They add into what you don't already have in your diet. Now,
I still think regardless you should get a multivitamin, because a lot of food is processed so much where you lose a lot of those things that you need. So I think a multivitamin's a necessity. They're cheap enough to get.
Yeah, I mean, what you need to do is your research. People need to do the research. You need to know where your what foods have what vitamins, what foods have what minerals, what has what in it.
Which the Scott Herman Fitness meal plan actually shows you. When you input foods into your meal plan, the Scott Herman Fitness meal plan system doesn't show just protein, carbs, fat, and calories. It has your whole list of vitamins and your whole list of minerals. So, if you were to get on that and you start implementing the foods that you're already eating, you can see what you have. And that the system also takes into consideration what your goal is. And 9 times out of 10, if you're not up to par with everything, you probably just need extra protein if you're trying to gain muscle, which is natural. So you pick up some whey protein and a multivitamin, you're going to save a lot more money that way. But make sure you get the food first, like Sean said.
Yeah. Sam, we'll focus on spending enough money on food every month, and that's your first focus. But say you're already spending the right amount of money on food or whatever, you have enough food, you have the right foods, you have a great diet. If you don't want to spend a lot of money on supplements every month, you really don't need to. You can buy pure-based creatines. You can get a whey protein that can last you if you work it in with your meals properly, if you just have it after your workout. So say you have something that has, how much does Synthesix have in it, like 30, 40 servings?
Yeah.
Say you have one of those a day right after, that's the most important, is right after your workout. If you're having something like that, you can just buy one a month. And if you're buying, you can get creatines that cost, $20 for a tub that has like 40 servings in it. I mean, it's up to you. So you got to find the deals. You got to find the deals in the grocery store as well. And we'll be going over
buy in bulk.
Yeah, we'll be going over that in the future as well. We'll go into the grocery stores and we'll kind of show you guys
go to BJ's.
some secrets. Go to BJ's.
Go to BJ's and buy in bulk.
Yeah, but
speaking of that old guy yesterday buying a box of maxi pads like this big. Sorry, that was just funny.
he was like 80 years old.
He was like 80.
He had the biggest thing of pads I've ever seen in my life. I don't envy him.
Moving on. That's what you need to do, Sam. Get your food under control. Once the food's under control, then move on to the supplements. But also keep in mind, Sam, if you have specific questions about food and you don't want to wait for an answer with an Ask Scott and Sean, post it on the community page, because community members out there just like you who have gone through this or going through it now will be able to help you and guide you. So that's Scott and Sean, episode 9. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We know, obviously we're back by a couple weeks. We've been working on our new studio. We're in the downstairs right now. This is actually not the locker room.
This is our makeshift locker room.
We put the lockers together. We're probably going to get rid of them and sell them because we're not going to use them. It's just here. But we're in the studio, so we're pumped. So now we're going to go upstairs and paint.
Woo!
We'll see you guys later.